Hi everyone, welcome back to another session of Handwriting Critique. Today I have Edmund and Jonathan, two long overdue submissions. I'm sorry. Um, so this is the email that I got from Edmund. He says he's been practicing Spencerian a few years ago. Then he stopped. Uh, he's not happy with his handwriting. It doesn't look clean, he says. I think my spacing is off. Really? Also, my small letters are overall kind of too big. Yeah. And he would appreciate a critic to make sure he's not practicing the wrong things. So, Edmund, you think your spacing is off? I don't know. I think it's beautiful. We are always our worst critic, right? When you say spacing, maybe spacing between words, like for example, I see this big old space right there. Otherwise, it looks pretty even to me. When you look at your writing, especially when you're doing something that's a overall piece, it's too easy to just zoom in and be like, oh my god, bad spacing, bad. No, you gotta zoom out. I can zoom out anymore, but if you zoom out and just look at it as a whole, it looks fine. And it's also a good idea to turn your paper upside down so you can see the overall texture from a new point of view. So if you do this, well, I think it's pretty well. Your angle is pretty much perfect. I mean, everything's angled very well. Spacing looks okay to me. Maybe I would say there could be some improvements to your layout. So right now you are doing a poem, right? Called My Voice by Oscar Wilde. And it's like a sonnet? I don't know. A poem with 4 lines each paragraph. So you got this right. You start here and then you margin and then you start here and margin. So that's okay. So this part is fine. But because this is the title, maybe you could have used more emphasis on this and less emphasis on the author. So your spacing issues could be solved with some layout or design issues, maybe. So what I would do, maybe, would be, because that's the title, it would be pretty big and maybe a flourish. And if I was to write Oscar Wilde in the same size, it would be competing, right? So right now it feels like the title is Oscar Wilde. And that's just like a note or something. So I would use his name separate. Maybe I would even do a by Oscar Wilde. And then I would do my 4 lines of poetry. And then you put your name Edmund, right? So if you just put it here, it sounds like, is Edmund the author? But because we all know Oscar Wilde, so Edmund's not the author. It is written by Edmund, so it would make more sense to have it on the opposite end, maybe, and elaborate. Written by Edmund. So now it feels more balanced, I guess. And when you balance something well, it sometimes solves spacing issues. Another thing that you could try with your spacing is this is a little, I want to say, advanced, but then I'm thinking it's kind of unnecessary, so bear with me. All right, let's see. Their time are one. Imagine, Okay. Okay, cool beans. But I don't know. I feel like you could add to your writing by adding a little bit of I'm gonna say it's the F word, the flourishing. Not that F word, the other F word. So rather than starting everything on the same line, maybe something like that. Maybe spacing's off. You don't have to worry about, all that. I mean, I wouldn't overdo it, but it's a little trick you can try. So let's say a mimic echo in the shell instead of now, of course, this is how you're supposed to write things. You don't want to overdo whatever, right? And technically, this is all you need. But if you want to add a bit of pizzazz, extend your entry strokes and your exit strokes. And I think that would add a bit more things for you to try and hopefully help you resolve some spacing issues. Let's try it. I don't know. It might work, it might not. I don't know. So let me know. Edmund also mentioned that his small letters are overall kind of too big. I don't think so. It's proportionate because if you have your X height, then your loops should be proportionate. Even if it's this and even if it's like that, it's not necessarily bad. It's not like a policeman's going to kick down your door and be like, your X height's too big. It's readable. It's beautiful. It's fun. So I don't think that's an issue for you. What I would recommend some work on though is space in your loops. So I did notice that your L's, your F's, your G's are kind of deflated. And I mention this a lot, but I feel like it's one of the easiest ways to make your writing more, you know, beautiful. We do not want strangled loops. At least, not all the time. It is easier and better, dare I say, if you have plenty of space. Like that, it's a little strangled. That's what you were doing. I don't know. It would be better if you did something like that. Pump in some air. The bicycle tire is a little flat. uh, or like over here, this word. All. Squeezing is, it's gasping for air. So give him some woo, air. I think once you do that, your writing will bloom more. But otherwise, I think it's beautiful. You're doing great. So try that, and I hope it helps. And if you have any more updates, let me know. I want to see. And let's move on to our next victim. I'm kidding. So here is Jonathan's writing. Okay, we can tell. You got personality. All right. So Jonathan says he has not studied any formal styles, but he plans to do so. This is his natural handwriting, and he would like an opinion before he picks a style to study. So natural, untouched, fresh, unspoiled handwriting. Whoa. He would love to learn Spencerian, though it is intimidating. Well, everything's intimidating at first. And he says he would eventually like to be competent in some kind of ornamental script, primarily to write beautiful letters to his wife. I'm here for you, man. I am so happy to help. Love letters. That's what I do. I live for that. And anyone's watching this, I hope you guys are writing lots and lots of love letters. Not just to spouses, but to your family, your friends, your sister, your brother, your pet. Anyway. So, if you read this letter, it's actually quite touching. So Jonathan has been through a lot in life. He's struggled, but he's got his life together. He's actually going back to school to be a counselor, so that's fantastic. And of course, he's married. He wants to write love letters to his wife. So let's help him out. Okay, first of all, you need to pick a direction, man. Jonathan, I'm not saying, this is bad, but overall, I'm seeing a lot of directions here. So generally, for a handwriting to look nice, you gotta pick a direction. When it's cursive, our direction is towards the right. Okay, we have like a specific angle. Or if you want to do architect writing, right? This is how they write. Something like that. It's horizontal direction. And sometimes you have like bubbly letters, by like girls that like and it's a bubbly kind of look. So here I can see sometimes your Y's or your G's are rounded, but then sometimes it's cursive style. And then sometimes, and I know I saw it somewhere, it's like that. Sometimes it's closed. So you have to find a consistency. You gotta pick one. If you want your writing to look good, pick maybe a, a G like that, and all your lower loops should have the same, direction and flow, and uh, you know, it looks like it comes from the same factory. Same with your upper loops. So your H, I see you did this. Okay, that's fine. And your B, maybe, and then sometimes you did this beautiful H right here. That's a nice Cancerian H. Sometimes you do one like that. So you gotta be careful. Again, whatever you pick should look like it's from the same factory. If you want to do that, okay, you want to do, 3 different sets, A, B, C. I think you're using a very nice pen. I can't really see. Oh, I see. You're using a fountain pen, Twisby pen. You're using a very nice ink, Noodlers. You're using a fancy paper, Kokuyo. So you have all your tools all lined up for you. You're ready. So I would say if you want to learn Spencerian, you should start with business penmanship. It is like Spencerian, but more modern and less intimidating. Spencerian is kind of like, a Lamborghini, I guess. Not everyone can drive it. We all want to. We all try it. Some of us crash. But a business penmanship style is like a nice, comfortable Ford Focus. It gets you there. It's not difficult. When you break, you break. When you go, you go. So start out with maybe a Ford. And then once you have mastered this, you could move on to Spencerian or ornamental penmanship. And the great thing is all of these are in the same family. So once you learn one, you kind of know the next because they're kind of like cousins. You could also look up Palmer handwriting, which is very similar to business handwriting, business penmanship. And I'm sure that whatever you decide, the consistency will be emphasized, and that's something you should look into. But if you like the way you write your Y's, like I see that your Y's are very distinct, well, keep it, and whatever. Who says you can't mix and match, right? So, like, if you're gonna write the word improving, sure, if that's your personality, go for it. Sure, Sure, go ahead. If it will not distract you from your progress, do what you want. But at least pick a direction for everything else. You can keep your uh, funky Y's and G's. That's fine. But everything else should follow a rule. Um, I hope that helps. I'm not sure. But either way, it doesn't matter what your handwriting is. Just write whatever to your wife and in your own hand, spritz some perfume on it, press a flower. She will love it. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you. We girls are easy to please. Okay. I hope that has helped. Um, Thank you for submitting. I'm sorry these are late. If you guys are interested for me to critique your handwriting, and I'll give you my opinions on how to improve, feel free to email me at, man, I can write. Why do you guys ask me this? info@openinstant.com, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, guys, Happy New Year. Bye.